We're live. Good evening, all. Now, I wonder how many people are going to join me on this cold and wet and miserable November evening. We've got 21 in the house already. Now then, we have so many things to talk about. Good evening, Pedals, and welcome to Petrol Ped. I haven't done a live since, well, it's very nearly a year, actually, and I love doing them. And I thought it would be a good opportunity. One, I'm in my new office, which isn't quite finished yet, but it's looking lovely, and I thought I'd give it a go. We've got plenty to talk about. And from the title of the video, you probably guessed we might have to have a chat about Jaguar. But who have we got? Kevin D. Evening, sir. Darren Hughes. Wraith 7230. Good evening. Kevy427. Robert Lloyd. Good evening, one and all. Now, what I want you to do, so I've got, it's not really an agenda, but a list of things that I thought we could have a chat about. But I'm sure, Jamie Pickles, evening chap, I am sure that you will have some questions and some thoughts. And I wondered whether we should maybe start with Jags. In particular, Jaguar. Good evening, Mark C, Mick Blizzard. How are you? Ed Smith, Gary Murphy. Look at this. All of the regulars piling on in. I thought we'd have a chat about Jaguar. And it's funny, when the whole Jaguar thing broke last week, I was so tempted to do a video. And I'm kind of glad I didn't now because everyone's done one. Can you hear me okay? That's the big thing. Quick, can you just, I'm using a new setup. Can you hear me okay? Just let me know in the comments. Can you hear me okay? Are you hearing me? Jaguar, yeah, sound good, excellent. I've got this amazing new studio, and I didn't know which microphone to use, so I'm just giving it a go. So hopefully it's all right. Just sold iPace, lost a fortune. Well, yeah, that's probably it. How many got? We got 99 people on. I think the future's exciting. I can hear you fine. Amazing. Sounds like you're sitting in your lavatory, very tinny. Yeah, I need maybe a bit of soundproofing. It's still a work in progress, my garage. And also, you might just see we've got a kind of sofa-y beddy thing there, but we haven't got any other furniture. I need to put a rug in just to get the soundproofing done. Yes, loud and clear in Australia, 86. That's impressive. Paul Clayton, good evening. Peter, I can hear you fine, but you may need to think about some sign. Yeah, I know. Love the yellow settee. Yeah, I know Tracy chose that. It's definitely not me. Please don't show that pretentious video advert. So, Owen, right. So what do we think about the Jaguar thing? I saw it last week, and honestly, I watched that video and just thought, oh my days. And initially, I thought it was some kind of agency gone massively AWOL, and then apparently it is an internal job within the internal Jaguar team. And the backlash from it, I am gobsmacked by, if I'm honest. Well, maybe not. I think everyone just has this affinity with Jaguar, but I just think it's just so sad. Where's the DI Pac-Man haircut, Pete? I can't say things like that. Excellent. Baltic Scotland. I bet it's cold, Karen, in Scotland. Clearly a controversial video by Jag, hoping it's a cunning plan to get people talking. Now, if the plan for that advert campaign was to get eyeballs and to get commentary and to get impressions, man, they've done that. It's been massively successful. My worry is, and here's my take on it, on the campaign. I don't have a problem with advertising campaigns that are a bit out there and a bit edgy and are generated to create conversation. My challenge with the Jaguar stuff is that advert had no bearing on any of the history of Jaguar at all, and was just very I don't know how many boxes they were trying to tick with that campaign, but I think they ticked most of them. And I just don't get it at all. And my worry is, I think Jaguar have problems anyway. They announced some 4 or 5 years ago that they were going to be all electric by 2025. They had I-Pace that came to market, and that was at the time a really great car, but they didn't really do anything with it. My understanding is the platform it's based on isn't really any use for the cars they want to build. So they're in a situation now where they're not actually making any cars at all. And that's just not great. I'm going to cut in between this and where are the doggies? They're in the main house because Tracy's home soon and they'll need feeding. And my worry is they've got no cars to sell for the next 12 months or whatever. They've not even got a car to look at until it's launched at the beginning of December. There is a pre-production kind of prototype thing. I know a few people who've seen it. They say it's worth the wait. It's interesting, but I don't think that it's aimed at either existing Jaguar customers, because it's going to be aimed at a price point similar to Rolls-Royce and Bentley. The bit I don't get about the advertising is it was aimed very much at the kind of very younger generation, 20s and 30s. Most of them live with mum and dad and don't have the money to buy the car anyway. So I don't understand who that was aimed at. And this whole kind of change of, I just don't get it. I think it was an absolute disaster. And that is my point. John, let's have a see what a few of you watching from Barcelona, Phil Birkin. Michael Wilkinson, we've all seen it. I'm still reeling. We're all still talking about the advert. Then half of it, you could argue that it's done its job. Wow, Cliff Hughes Media, you're watching on a cruise ship. You've got to tell us where you're off to, because that sounds good. Watch out for icebergs. It's chilly this time of year, you know. John Sakar, so disrespectful to the heritage and history. I totally agree. Surely it's more important that the product is actually good so they can get away with that ad and rebrand. I totally agree. I thought the invite was to play Scale X6. Oh, you see my reel there. Scale X6, that's amazing. Maybe it's a wind-up. I don't think it is a wind-up, Marksy, unfortunately. Look back, and I think some of you may well have seen it because it's been shared on Insta, at the F-Type advert that was done a few years ago with the whole kind of James Bond theme, and that's what we should be doing with Jags. I love my Jaguars. I've driven, you know, F-Type R, both V6 V8 F-Type, F-Type R, F-Type SVR, Project 8, Project 7, F-Pace SVR, brilliant cars. Even just the 3-litre diesel F-Pace, a brilliant car. What the hell were they thinking? Anyway, I wonder if anyone on here is actually from the Jaguar PR department, because they've seen my my link tonight. I don't know. We've got 160 people watching. Gary Murphy, oh my God, it's dreadful. I'm certainly not buying that crap yet. Well, yes. Kevin, is that an original chopper in the background? Well spotted. It is a Mark III. It's not, so it's not got the gears on the crossbar. It's got the gears up on the handles, but it's very, very cool. No bearing on anything automotive either. Bud Light, it's very, very much like Bud Light. Bud Light did the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing and said the Bud Light drinkers were rednecks and totally alienated their base. Bad idea. Strategic error, going 100% electric. The whole all electric thing, I think legislation has to change for brands not to do something about that. Although I see Lotus have literally just this week announced that they're going to kind of do some hybrid stuff rather than just pure electric, which I think is very, very interesting. Porsche are clearly pushing the boundaries of hybridizing their ICE vehicles. And so I think there's a bit of that. But yeah, the problem is that Jaguar made this statement 5 years ago and they've done anything since, really. Well, Chris Murphy. So, Pete, would you be willing to do a video on the lack of accessible charging for those with disabilities like myself? So I have done a video, it's a few years ago now, with a friend of mine on adapted cars and how wheelchair users can use adaptive cars. And we mentioned briefly in that video, I think, charging. And I did talk about it briefly in a video when I towed a caravan with an electric car. But yes, I think I could do a video on that because I think it's a real challenge. Some of the new electric forecourts are probably a bit easier, but the ones where you have to drive into a bay, I know if you're in a wheelchair or if you've got mobility issues, then they can be very, very challenging. So yes, I'll put it on my list. Great idea. Fraser Bird, have we been had? Have you considered Jaguar's strategy is a shock tactic to move into fashion and other products where they can actually sell something? That's brilliant. Yeah, but would you buy the fashion that was in that advert? I mean, the haircuts and all the primary colors and stuff. Come on, really? Ferrari have produced evolutionary cars, every model really, yet totally hold on to their heritage. Exactly, Andrew H. Exactly. Gary Murphy, we want to see you ride the chopper. Yeah. Yes, so it just needs a bit of a tweak at the back because the if you remember, the way the rear wheel is attached, it keeps moving towards the crank, and the chain's really soggy, so that needs a bit of a tweak. But maybe I need to do something with the chopper. I was never a Jag fan until 10 years ago. Just trying to love them. I know, messing it up. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. Exactly. Nick Williams. So glad we've had one of the last proper Jag XJs, even if it's a diesel. Yeah, I know. It's like, honestly, I wonder if Lotus will use the Toyota hybrid system. I don't know, Michael. That's a very good question. The other thing about the Jaguar side of things, and Joe Achilles, my mate's done quite a bit of work on this, is their Instagram account is very suspect, like really suspect. They've got 17 million followers. They've deleted all of their previous posts. They've got, I think, just 3 posts up now, the ridiculous advert and a couple of teaser shots of the new car they're releasing in December. And I just don't get it. I just think it's a completely fake account. But anyway, that's, you know, yeah, it's not good. Really not good. Chris Murphy gone. Oh yeah, let's come back to the wheelchair thing. Yeah, so full-time wheelchair. Well, wow, okay. And yes, Motability pushing people into electric, which is a real challenge, I guess. Mail Online reporting that Jaguar shutting 75% of its dealerships too as part of the rebrand. Well, I wonder if they're going down the route of kind of Tesla and the online sales side of things, but you still need a dealership to take your car in to be serviced. My worry is for the people that work at Jaguar. I think the chances of them surviving the next 12 to 18 months as a business are very slim, actually. Pete, do you need me to bring round my Lego Porsche for your desk? Yeah, I've got 2. I've got the. I can spin that round. I've got the GT3 RS and the Chiron, and I've got my Super Hot Shot. And I also have, it's down there somewhere. I've got the McLaren Formula 1 car that needs building, but I got it for Christmas last year and haven't had a chance yet. And never mind the new Jag. Would any Jag fit through the new Petrol Ped garage doors? Mark C. Okay, so we've bashed Jaguar enough, I think. I'm bound to come back to it though. The new garage. So we're nearly finished. Upstairs is pretty much finished. All we need to do is put some pictures on the walls and some shelving and that kind of thing. Downstairs, we've put 10 inches on each door downstairs. So each garage's door bay, if you like, is 20 inches wider than it was. And I can now safely get a transit van through the door. So there will be a video coming soon. I am overwhelmed by the support of the Dream Garage video series, and also just the comments. I was walking the dogs on the beach a couple of weeks ago, and I just heard this, "How's your garage doors doing?" And someone had obviously watched and was very amused at the fact I couldn't drive. I've had a lot of stick for that, basically. Jaguar, oh, very good. Kiwi Ham, that's good. What's going on? Let's really push diesel. What happened there? This is very true. Let me read through a few of these. Guessing future Midweek 180s will be filmed in the new office. I filmed this Wednesday's Midweek 180 this afternoon. It will go live obviously on Wednesday because I'm going away. I'm in Lyon tomorrow for the next couple of days. So yes, absolutely. Rick the Spud, greetings. Oh, he's Mexico. Mate, I'm dead impressed you've tuned in from Mexico. Your holiday looks amazing, by the way. Jaguar left their model to die on the vine. All the models should have been replaced years ago. I agree. Sit the Portsmouth jail. I just announced closure today. Oh, really? That's not good. Chris Murphy loved the garage, by the way. Thank you very much. You're making the same mistakes as Disney and will be another billion-dollar casualty. This advert is really terrible. Does not relate to your core audience. You're 37 in the UK. Love my Jags now. Tesla owner. Yeah, exactly. I just think it's bad. Paul Clayton, have I got the Lego Defender? No, because it's now out of manufacture, isn't it? I didn't get it, and I really wish I had. It's one I would really like. That Super Hot Shot is too clean. Now, there's a funny story there. Yes, it is very clean. So I made it, and on the first test drive, it broke. And then I sent it to my mate Paul from Cycle Sunday, who races radio control cars, and he fixed it for me. It works now. I just need time to actually play with it. But yes, I agree. It is way too clean. Garage talk. As I said, so garage then. Doors are done. The only things left to be done, they need to be painted on the outside. Where the hole was made bigger, the plaster needs to be redone. So all the plastering is being done on Friday this week. And then that's it, pretty much done, hopefully. Or I hope so, because I've run out of money a long time ago. And so do the doors work? Yes, they do work. They are wide enough. I currently have a Boxster and a Caterham in there. Not the biggest cars in the world, but easy to get in, that's for sure. In this Jag ad, where an oldish white man paints a white strip across the screen with the caption, "Delete ordinary," isn't that a not so subtle message that Jaguar don't want to... Oh my God. I mean, you've got to say the new advert, it's at least ticking the diversity box, I think. I mean, it's more woke than the BBC, which is saying something. Lego G3RS now sells for good money. Does it? Oh, excellent. I'm keeping it. I can't get rid of it. Carl Woolrich, how's the Caterham? Love the flames with my R500. Yes, so I've got the 620S currently. It is an epic car. It's too much, really. I mean, I took it out at the weekend because I had a friend staying, and it was a bit damp and a bit wet and a bit cold, and it was mildly terrifying, but immense fun. And you take it out at night time, yes, it spits flames in a big way, which is most excellent. Leslie Carter, will it tarnish Land Rover as well? If I were Land Rover, I would separate myself as far from Jaguar as I could possibly do. I don't think Land Rover have got the best reputation at the moment, but I'm hoping it's not. Ped, I'm after a road bike. Any recommendations? Paul Marsh. So a couple of things. I think you'll probably find there's some good deals out there because the bike industry is on its arse. I would always get the best frame your money can buy because you can always upgrade the group set afterwards. And I would go for one of the bigger names because they generally make in scale and you get a lot of bang for your buck. So that would be people like Trek or Specialized, Giant, those types of manufacturers. You probably get the most bang for your buck with those. But always buy the best frame you can. And you don't have to have a carbon frame. You could have an alloy frame and then just carbon forks and seat post, which is what I did when I started. But if you can buy the best frame you can. Nick Blizzard, have the original Tamiya Wild one up in the loft. Oh, I need to go to the little car company and drive their full-size Wild one. That sounds wicked. Tamiya have just released a fully updated 40 years on Hornet as well. Apparently, I saw a thing on that just today. Me and Margot watching too. Natasha Murphy, hope a Land Rover won't get Jaguar makeover. Yes, oh my. Convinced by your friend Moggy about converting an old Beetle or Defender into an electric. You've got to drive one. Any plans to review the Rivian? Just a case of getting hold of one, to be honest, Ryan. I think they're quite... I don't know how I would get one of those in the UK. Simon Taylor, wife wants a fast SUV, SQ2 or T-Roc R. I recall you quite like the SQ2. I did like the SQ2. I've not driven T-Roc R, but SQ2 is a very good little car, actually. It's not massive in terms of... So it's nice and easy to get around town and stuff, but it's roomy enough inside, and it's got a good amount of performance as well. Really good car. Really good car. Gary Murphy, you can have my Lego Defender. I'm never going to finish it. I got the remote control. Oh, you're kidding me. We can share it. We'll make it on the channel together. What happened to the mini project? Right. Okay, Neil, S1. Project PP. We have had some major challenges with Project PP. A bit of health challenges, but the main one is it's been stuck in trimming, the trimmers. So it is due to be finished at the trimmers at the beginning of December. And I will then go to Darren at Mulgari and we'll film with it at Mulgari. and then we'll deliver it to Podium before Christmas. So you will see the end of PP, the finished thing. All the body work is done. The engine's running, the car's running. It just doesn't have any interior in it at the moment because we had a massive problem at the trimmers. And we had to kind of change what we were doing, especially with the rear seats. But we haven't forgotten it. I know it's turned into longer than Project Binky, but it is coming. Paul Costello, what was your last normal job? Love the content. Many of you know I was a trainer in telecoms. I did that for 25 years. And then when I started YouTube, I was part owner of a training company, and then YouTube started taking off. I then went freelance as a trainer and did both things together, but I haven't delivered any training for over 18 months now. So I am now full-time YouTube, which is great and awesome, but really scary at the same time. Roderick Morrison, thank you. Love the garage, amazing. Any plans for Cooper Tavascan? I need to do some more stuff. I've got a Cooper range day. I was invited to one, but I couldn't make it. I would love to do some more stuff with Cooper, actually. If you move the sofa away from the walls, the reflection will be less prominent. Otherwise, you'll need some acoustic traps. Mute. Yeah, I know. I know it's a bit echoey in here. This is the first thing I've done in here, so we are learning, and I'll listen to it back, and I'm sure it will be very, very different. Nick, my mate Nick Williams, best photographer I know. Downfall of Jaguar has been a long one. Anyone with an X350 chassis XJ can tell you that most parts have not been available for a very long time, as well as other OEMs. Yeah, it's very, very sad. What's my opinion about the chance the success of Mini would launch a petrol Mini Paceman? Do you mean Paceman or Aceman? So I drove the all-electric Aceman, which is all electric. They don't, unlike the Mini Hatch and the Countryman, there isn't a petrol version. I think if there was, it may well appeal to more people. I think that car has a few fundamental flaws. Its range for me isn't quite good enough, and I think the challenge is, do you need a bigger car than a hatch? I think a lot of people would just go for the hatch or for the Countryman. I was quite surprised by the feedback I got on the video, my review of the Aceman recently. There wasn't a great deal of love for it. Loving the new office setup. Thank you very much, the car broker. So am I. I don't think you can see. Oh yeah, you can. You can see I've got like little down lights underneath. It looks quite cool when you turn on the light. And I've got some really cool artwork coming, but it's not arrived yet, sadly. But we'll get there eventually. Savello S5 in black, SRAM 4C tap. Yes, that is that the suggestion of what's my good road bike? Yeah, Savello S5. Savellos are lovely bikes. I love those. Can you give a shout out to Screaming? Oh, mate, Will. So my neighbour Will, who's like literally just over there, is the husband of Screaming Joe. Remember Joe? Now she's really not very well at the moment. She's in hospital. She's been in hospital the last 2 or 3 days. So can we all just send her big love and give her some positive vibes, because she's not very well at all. Will, hope everything's okay. Text me to let me know how you got on today, please. But yeah, yeah, she's really not very well, and I'm sure she'll appreciate all the love and hugs. Jaguars, back to Jaguar from HQB Productions. Seen some comments by PR people who say the new advert and logo change has generated more talk of Jaguar than anything before. They say this is a great success. It has generated stuff, and no publicity is bad publicity and all that. However, the hate and the online, there's no love at all. It's all ridicule, basically. And also just the way they've done their social media campaign is just outrageous for me. It's a completely fake Instagram account, and just deleting all of their previous content, deleting comments. It was just terrible. And some of the responses to comments that I read were just cringeworthy. But anyway, I don't think they've had any social media consultation with anyone who knows what they're talking about at all. Car broker, want to buy an early F-Type V6S. Do you think the future values of these? Ben at Car Volca. Oh, yeah, it's Ben. Oh, hello, mate. I didn't recognise the Car Broker YouTube channel. I think Jaguar F-Type residuals are going to do quite well, really, because it's just a brilliant car. Sounds great, looks beautiful. And I can't imagine with the move Jaguar are making into this premium market that they're not going to have a car for everyday people anymore. And I know F-Type was an expensive car when they were new, but used ones, you can pick them up for reasonable money. Mick Blizzard, do I still use and love Ruby? She's parked outside. She's not got an MOT on her at the moment. While we've been doing this build, she's been parked at a neighbour's house, but I still love her to bits. Although she might be going next year. I might sell her next year. So if anybody's interested in buying a lovely R59 JCW, then reach out to me. Sainsbury's are now providing bigger bays for electric cars as they've understood that both disabled users and parents need more space. That's interesting. Didn't know that. Adrian Bennett, love the way you've done Jaguar with the lowercase apart from the capital G. That's absolutely genius. I've made a mistake going pure electric. Hybrids are more popular. The video is nonsense. I agree. UK prices for R5 EV are out. Seems keenly priced. It's awesome. So I think off the top of my head, I think they start at 23 and got to about 30. No, late 20s, I think. So yeah, very, very good pricing for Renault 5. I've got one in a couple of weeks' time. I've got a left-hand drive French car just for a couple of days to drive. So I'm really looking forward to that. I've obviously driven A290 from Alpine, which is 10 grand more than the Renault 5. And it is a great car, but I just think the Renault 5 is going to just set the world on fire. And lots of people are going to buy one. We've got lots of lovely messages coming in for Joe. Yay. Thank you, Owen, very much. Thank you, Jason. Tris, how are you, my friend? What are your thoughts on the Audi TTRS? Great car. Good. You can get good bargains as well, actually. You can get some nice used ones out there. Looking forward to the next update video and seeing the new wider doors. Yes, they are they're special. In fact, if you watch the midweek 180 this week, I actually give you a photograph of the outside of the garage doors. Just, you know, what a brilliant bat cave yeah, it is a bit of a bat cave, isn't it? Hey, now, next question. F1. I was super, obviously, Las Vegas, amazed or brilliant drive from Lewis at the weekend. But I have to give massive congratulations to Max Verstappen for winning his 3rd World Drivers' Championship. Well done, Max. A brilliant drive and a great season. Jaguar most negatively due to the ad. Renault talk is positive because of the product. I agree, John. Absolutely. David Baneto, son has a specialized Vado 4 e-bike. Had nothing but trouble with it. Oh, really? Sent 2 mechanics and changed it all. Wow, okay. Now, I tell you, e-bike wise, I have got downstairs. Sadly, I should have brought it up and put it behind me. I've got the McLaren e-bike, which I'll be filming with next week. So I've triggered some people. I was waiting for that. Some people, yeah, 3rd championship. Yeah, I thought it was the 4th title. Yes, I was, Jason. I was winding people up. Now I did that on Instagram, and people didn't get. It's called sarcasm. I know it's 4 really. Just like Max. Well, it's 3 for Max and 8 for Lewis, isn't it? So yes, we're maybe a separate channel for the Midweek 180. I don't want to. I haven't got the energy to set up another channel. It's bad enough running one. New office looks fantastic. Love the color scheme. Good to see you settling in. Thank you very much, Dark Lord. Dr. Elvis H. Christ. Wow. Okay, that's good. Won't go near VW products now. VW, I think they are a brand that are going to really struggle in the next 12 months. They've got 3 factories they're closing in Germany. They're laying off a lot of staff. They've got a lot of debt. Very, very worrying times for that. So, yeah, I know David Jackson. I know it's the fourth champion for Max. I just wondered whether or not anyone would get triggered. Jono, oh, well, you aren't funny. Sarcasm, yes. Have a good life, Pete. Myself and Dad are now jumping off now. Dad heading off to hospital. Oh, I hope for Mum. Will appreciate it. Hope if you're going to hospital, hope everything's okay there. Love the TK artwork. What artwork are you thinking of? So, very excited. I've got lots of pictures from my old place, but I'm very excited to be working with Paul Oz. So Paul is going to send me some really cool bits of artwork to hang up. So I've got, but that's very exciting. And then I've got some nice pictures. I've got pictures, look, they're all down here. Look, that's a nice picture of, that was done by, remember Charlie Clubman? That's probably going to go downstairs in the garage. That's my old caterum. That's going to go in there. The Tangerine Dream. What else have I got? This one's got a good one. That's me doing the Paris-Roubaix. That's going to go. Oh, not going to take it that way. Going to go somewhere as well. So yes, I've got lots of pictures, lots of artwork. I've been having a chat with my mate Ian Cook, Pop Bang Colour. Hopefully he's going to come over and do a live painting in the garage at some point as well. So yeah, lots of things downstairs. Upstairs here, there's, because of the way the roofs slope, there aren't that many walls that you can place actual pictures on. But in the garage downstairs, we've got loads more space to play with. So motorsport memorabilia, cool pictures, artwork, that kind of thing. So yes, that's the plan. Are you around for FOS next year? Going for the first time? Oh yeah, Kevin D. I will. Yes, hopefully. It's way too early to have any plans in terms of hill climbs and things, but I am hoping to do something very special with Alfa Romeo. But it's very early days. But yes, I'll be there all 4 days. But Festival Speed's my most important Goodwood event of the calendar. Revival and members meeting, I generally go, but don't really create any content as such if I go there. Ribble cycles, all-road bikes look good. Highly configurable when ordering. Yeah, Ribble do some really good stuff, actually, at a good price point. So worth a check. Tris, just so everyone knows, it's 8 for Lewis. I think we could have an argument. We could, both sides of the argument. Yeah, VW, I'm very worried about VW. I think it's either going to be VW, Jaguar or Ford that go pop in the next 12 to 18 months. Which if I couldn't have believed I would have said that, I don't know, 5 years ago. It's ridiculous, really. Were you a sales trainer in the motor trade many years ago by chance? No, never done sales training in the motor trade. I was a technical trainer in mobile telecoms. I used to basically train engineers how to design, build, maintain, and operate mobile phone networks. So yeah, I've not done any sales. I did sales training in telecoms. In fact, if you, the funny story there, if you know, do you watch Nico van der Horst? You know, the watch guy, the crazy Irish watch guy, Nico Leonard. So I actually trained him when he was a salesman or sales guy at Vodafone many years ago, and I remember watching one of his videos, going, God, he looks familiar, and I just couldn't place it at all. And then I saw a post on LinkedIn from him, and then went down in his employment history, and we put 2 and 2 together. And yeah, I trained him when he worked at Vodafone, would you believe, before he became super successful, massive YouTuber, massive watch seller. Let's have a look here, what we got coming down here. I thought there was a TV delay here in the States that took away from Max. Hello, everyone. Loving the new garage. Thank you very much. Trevor's videos. Loving all your stop motion stuff, by the way. Talking of Charlie, is the Clubman better than the updated Countryman? That's a very good question. They're different. I think the Clubman is probably better down a B road and a bit more engaging. But the Countryman JCW, which I can only talk about because it's the one I've driven, and we're running, I've still got that until the beginning of January, is a very, very good car. And it's funny, Tracy didn't really like it when it first arrived. She wasn't sure about its looks, thought it was a bit big. And now we really, really like it. As an everyday car for us, it's perfect. It's really, really very good. What's the car that you have always wanted to drive, film, but haven't had the chance yet? Adrian Norris. McLaren F1. But that's never going to happen. So I've been in a McLaren F1 GTR as a passenger, but I'd love to film. I'd love to drive a McLaren F1 or an F40. They were the cars on my wall as a kid. So yeah, definitely. Nice. Thank you. Nice time behind. Will you be putting your running and cycling medals up there and your IAM master certificate up? Yes. Hold on a minute. Stay there. I've got that to go on. So yes, I will be putting my medals up. There you go. See, that was a good question. Where have I got behind it? I don't know. Before Stellantis go skin. What do the petrol pups think of the Jag Re-Brand? They're not impressed, to be honest. Yeah, they don't like it. Do you think we'll see more legacy brands link up with Chinese brands? Worried for VW? Honestly, I don't know. The Chinese, they're doing some really good stuff, whether you love it or hate it, and the amount of kind of opinion when you put anything to do with a Chinese brand on YouTube is unreal. There's a lot of hate for the fact it's made in China and human rights and all the things we know about things that come out of China. But you can't deny the fact that they're doing things arguably smarter and better than a lot of the legacy brands, unfortunately. When are you going to get your hands on the 911 ST, Nick H? I just need to sort out a date. I've been told I can get access to it. I just need to sort out a date, probably early Jan, Feb time. But the problem with that is the weather's really poor, but I just want to drive the car, to be honest. Yeah, Dickie McVitie, sorry, I didn't have a video for tonight. I haven't done a live for 9 months, and I thought it would be a bit of fun. So yeah, I do want to get the 911 ST, especially having spent time with Joe and Pat since they took one to France, and it just blew him away. So when he went from long-term a Defender, which was awesome, we had a company one and used it. It blew the Lambo Urus away for me. Too complicated to start. You're a bit sad. Yeah. The Defender was the best long-termer I've had by a long ways. Everything that's come after that is bound to be a little bit disappointing. VW was talking early this year about expanding a Chattanooga factory not too far from me, but I haven't heard anything since. Okay. Curious how the advanced driving is going. Have missed a video update. Oh, Stephen Knight. My advanced driving, I actually passed my masters with distinction a couple of 18 months ago. So I need to retest. I think you have to retake the test every 3 years with masters. It might be 5, but I think it's 3. So yes, I should have done a video. I mentioned it in Midweek 180. I didn't do a complete video on the fact that I passed, so apologies for that. Any news on Project PP? Stephen, I've mentioned that already. We've had a massive issue with the trimmers and a few other things as well. So it'll be finished from the trimmers early December. It will be delivered by the end of the year. So by Christmas, you will have a final video on Project PP. Mechanically, it's finished. The bodywork's finished. We just need to put the interior in. What do you think of Kia as a brand? Big fan, David Jackson of Kia. I think they are amongst the best. I'm going to call them a legacy manufacturer at moving to EV. EV3, which I drove recently in Portugal, very, very competent car, really good range, great tech, quite edgy design. That and the EV9 are pretty edgy design. The facelift EV6 is very good. And then all the non-EV stuff, so Sportage and so on, they just make really good cars, very reliable, great warranty. What I love about them as well is they don't have this massive options list. They've got they've got 3 different levels of trim, and you just have to choose the paint. I like that a lot. Thoughts on the new Audi RS3 Tris? I haven't driven it, so I don't know, but it's going to be brilliant. What are my favorite YouTube channels? I don't watch. So my favorite guys in the car space, I love Henry Catchpole. I love watching his stuff. I pretty much say I watch, so that's Haggerty Media now. I watch every video he makes. I quite like dipping in to watch Chris Harris. Now he's back on Chris Harris on Cars. I'll always watch Joe's stuff because I just like the way he makes his videos. That's about it, really. Harry's, I'll dip in and watch Harry every now and again, Harry's Garage. but then I just watch a lot of podcasts. I think you know, when you do what I do, I'll every now and again I'll watch a Top Gear do some great stuff now. I think it's good that Top Gear, the way they've now the TV show's finished and the three presenters have kind of moved aside. The online Top Gear, I think they've got a really good lineup of presenters and they're making some really good quality content. So I like what they're doing. Pete Randall, are you booked in to drive the Supercat from TWR? I've driven the Mule. I filmed my film for that went out last Wednesday. If you haven't seen that, and when the actual production car is ready to be driven, then yes, I will be driving that car. That's likely to be in the new year because the only car that they've got running at the moment is in America at the moment and will stay there for a while. So there isn't a TWR Supercat in the UK for me to drive, but when there is, I will. When are you going to buy an Octavia VRS wagon? Oh, don't tempt me. They're brilliant cars. The one that I want to get my hands on the superb sleeper that they've done. I need to get that booked in. Fish Tigua, just found out I was live. I think we need to put what's that? A duty limit on imports from China. The UK did with Japanese cars. Yeah, it's tricky though. The biggest problem with that, John O.R., I don't disagree in some respects. The biggest problem with that is if you look at the German brands particularly, so BMW, Mercedes and Audi, they make almost all their profits in China. And I think what you end up with like an arms race. So if we put big import duties on Chinese cars coming into Europe, they'll just reciprocate and do it the other way around, and that will really badly hit particularly the German manufacturers. So I don't think that's a great idea. And unfortunately, the likes of Donald Trump don't see that. So I'm sure he'll probably do something like that when he comes into power. Thank you, Darren. 5 years for the Masters. That's good. I've got another couple of years to prepare for my retest. If you the advanced driving through the IM or ROSPA, highly recommended. If you want to really push yourself, do the Masters. It's a fantastic process. What have we got here? Will I be getting any Lamborghini content on the channel? Right. Of all the supercars, McLaren and Ferrari are probably my favorite brands, but I quite like Lamborghinis in the fact that they're loud, make a great noise, and they look like, if you ask a 3-year-old to draw a supercar, they're going to draw a Lamborghini. I have two problems with Lamborghinis, especially so if we take Huracan as a platform, they're really small and I only just fit in one. I got the opportunity to drive a Huracan Spider once and I literally couldn't fit in it. The other problem is I have no relationship with Lamborghini as a brand, but I would love to do more with Lamborghini, just as a balance, really. Kevin D, are we going to do some live podcasts next year? Yes. So podcast, two big things are going to happen next year with the podcast. First up, we are going to do some more live events, and we're planning those around big events, whether that's things like MotoGP or Porsche Cup. I think we might do one at Porsche Cup. But we're going to try and do an episode every week, and we're going to do that by recording podcasts online more. Now, up until now, we've always done them face-to-face, but the challenge with that is just logistics. So we struggle to get a video or a podcast done every 2 weeks. So hopefully more podcasts coming to you in 2025, including more lives. So yes, keep an eye out for that one. And for my channel, I've got a couple of really exciting announcements, which I can't talk about now, but really exciting announcements that will include some face-to-face opportunities and stuff like that. So yes, have Nissan had another range outside Kish Quash in the UK? Is that, I'm presuming you mean Qashqai, Kumquat. Another range outside of I don't know. I don't actually understand that question. Sorry, Fish Tigua. Big fan of your videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Mutual friend of ours has introduced me to your videos. Thank you very much, Chris George. A mutual friend. Who's our mutual friend? I see GM and Cadillac coming into F1. I heard that or read about that just over the weekend. The interesting thing, I didn't think they were going to let another team in. Are they working with an existing team, or what? So let me know. Priced up a Kia Ceed shooting brake. The thingy was chuffed with the car. Priced up under 38 grand. Yeah, exactly. Any chance of a collaboration video with another car YouTuber? One particularly comes to mind. 8-wheeled racer. Yeah, well, actually, 8-wheeled racer, we were talking about you before because I did that thing with you and your car. I'm always up for a collab, always. Hi Pete, would you consider taking a Mazda 3 for a test drive? I'm looking at doing one from Snows. Yeah, I need to do a bit more stuff with Mazda, so yeah, I could sort that out. Who has the worst and most unhelpful media press department car manufacturers you have dealt with? JLR. Surprisingly. So I have done quite a lot of Jaguar Land Rover content in the last 8 years, and it's always done really, really well. Whether that's Jaguar or Land Rover, actually. And I have had no luck getting any answers out of the JLR press team at all. And when I got the Defender long-termer, I reached out to them and said, I've got the Land Rover Defender for the next 6 months. Can we do some stuff together? Can I go to a Land Rover Experience Centre? Can we talk about Land Rover ownership experience? There's loads of opportunity here. And I never even got an answer back from an email. Not one. And that's not good. And I emailed like 3 or 4 people. So yeah, JLR, terrible. And Mercedes, they're like sending an email into a black hole as well. You never get anything back from them. And if anyone from Mercedes or JLR are watching this, that's my future with those 2 brands completely dead in the water. But anyway, going forward for the channel, it would be good to see subscribers post their videos on their cars like we did in COVID. Yeah, Peddler's Rides was good. My big challenge at the moment is just bandwidth, to be honest. Stephen Spink, I presume you're talking about that. I knew someone was going to ask about that. So we've got. So the history of that, we have one of those in the house. This one though was bought when we had our house in Cornwall, and we had that painted we bought that for a house in Cornwall, and it was in the dining room, and the end wall, feature wall, was this same color. And that's why we put that there. It's kind of a nod. We bought it back from Cornwall, and we've now got one of those in our main living room as well. Oh man, I knew someone was going to ask me about that. I can't remember his name. Oh, I'll remember. Send me a direct message and I'll let you know. Are you going to Foz? Yes, I mentioned that. I am. How about another long overdue meet and greet? I know, Nick H. Bear with me. There's an announcement coming, and there will be a meet and greet on the back of that announcement. Promise. Big problem with the challenge with meet and greets is scale now. When I first did my meet and greet all those years ago in Goodwood, I had about 5,000 subscribers, and I still overran the place with people. Now it's a real challenge finding somewhere big enough to do a meet and greet. Really love the opportunity to chat live. Thanks. Well, that's very kind. I'll try my best. JLR may not want to sell any vehicles anymore. This is very true. Are Renault designing some of the nicest looking cars right now? I think the Renault 5 is the coolest car on sale today. Full stop. It's just awesome looking thing. Can't wait to drive it in a couple of weeks' time. Pete, Lotus are going to hybrid EV. I did hear about that. Do you think other manufacturers might follow suit? The big problem is this ZEV mandate. So a lot of the manufacturers I talk to would love to stay with ICE vehicles a little bit longer and pull back on the whole battery electric thing, but they're just not able to because of ZEV mandate. They have these percentage figures to hit each year. That goes up next year, and when they don't hit it, they have large fines to pay. And one of the ways that they'll get away around that is they are buying credits from pure EV makers like Tesla and so on, but that's just a short-term fix. So unless the legislation changes in some drastic way, I can't see that happening. Too much. Ryan Sparrow picking up new Scenic tomorrow. Very good car. One of the coolest things that Renault do, Alpine do it as well, Dacia do it as well, is they have the My Perso button. So you can put all your ADAS systems on one button and then just double tap the button when you get in the car every time. Turns everything off. Brilliant. Sorry, just back home, missed it a bit. You can always watch it back again. Do you think F-Types will take a hit price-wise due to the recent branding mess? No, I think the price will go up. I think F-Types will go up, actually. You don't own the property anymore. No, so Cornwall property we sold 3 years ago, and that's why we've been able to do this. No, it went really well after COVID, and then it was just a good opportunity to sell. And for me as well now, even though Tracy's from Cornwall, there was still a lot of backlash about second homeowners and all of that kind of stuff. And that's only got worse. And I think there's, especially when you look at what the current government are doing with tax and all that kind of stuff, I can see second homeowners being hit particularly hard. So much as it gutted us to sell it, we're very, very glad we did when we did. Is there anything you would change about your garage now it's built? I don't think so. There were things we wanted to do that we weren't allowed to do because of planning, or because of the fact we're in a South Downs park. We would have loved to have kind of that side. We've got a garden at the back. We'd have loved to have gone out onto that and had some kind of external space out there, but we just weren't allowed to do it. So I think so far we're really pleased at how it's turned out. What have we got? I've got another 10 minutes. I'm going to do an hour. Don't have the house in Mevagissey. No, we sold the house in Mevagissey. Sorry. Oh no, we still miss it. We will have another house with a sea view. But when we bought that house, it was a case of, buy that house or do up the garage. And we bought the house and now we've done up the garage. So we've managed to get this is a better use of our money and our space because we can use it every day. We're in the gym every day working out. I can work from here, and it's going to be transformational. Would love to see me do a review on the Tesla Cybertruck. You ain't going to see that very soon because I think it's a stupid car, and I just don't see the point of them. It looks like it's been designed by a 4-year-old with a crayon. It does nothing for me whatsoever. And there's a bit as well. I've got a few challenges with Tesla and the ownership and Elon Musk and some of the things he's doing at the moment, but I'm not that interested in Cybertruck, if I'm honest. What gets me is there are so many people saying the rebranding is woke, and some are just downright nasty about the people in the ad. For me, it's all about the logo and the font, that's all. Hey, look, it's not got nothing to do with the people in the ad. I think it's the messaging that they were trying, or the kind of the story they were trying to tell. For lots of people, it missed the mark. Will there be an Aston on the channel soon? I'd love to do some Aston stuff, but again, Aston Martin are another press team that are very difficult to work with. The last Aston I had was the Vantage Roadster I did the SEC Island tour in. But I will have an Aston on the channel soon that's not from Aston Martin, but I will be driving the new V12 Vantage early in the new year, hopefully. I've got some really very, very sexy cars coming to the channel in the new year, but as an announcement I need to make before that will then explain everything. Have you seen the video of the Bugatti Tourbillon running the V12? Yes. I've got an F-Type. Don't think they'll suffer in values. Look at the E-Type now. I know. I've also, E-Type, beautiful car. You know, sell privilege, but what was your first car and would you buy it again? My first car was a Mark 1 Fiesta. I would love a Mark 1 Fiesta 1300 Super Sport. Unfortunately, they're quite punchy now, values-wise, but I'd love to. I mean, it would probably be rubbish to drive, but I still look at those and I just think they're cool. I don't want an XR2, 1300 Super Sport. That's one of my dream classic cars. Lone Ranger, yeah, we've done the house in Cornwall. So is your rally chopper in the back? Yes, that is a rally chopper in the background. Well done. So it's a pink one. Who's got a pink chopper? Anyone like to see my pink chopper? They're really heavy as well. Great evening with me and Tiff. Yes. Oh, David, you went to the me and Tiff evening. Yes, that was really good fun. Really, really good fun. Aerial Nomad. Oh man, I love an Aerial Nomad. Yeah. Did I not? Was I too subtle about my feelings about the Cybertruck? Oh, sorry. I'll try and be a little bit more open and try to hide things less. Remember me, the Mad 2 CV at Goodwood 2 years ago? Yes. Cracking day out. It was the Goodwood Marshall's track day a couple of years ago. Serious plans to get 911 in the garage soon. Well, okay. Here's the thing about 911. Spoiler alert, but as you're all with me, let's do a spoiler alert. So my very good friend has just sold a V12 Vantage S and bought a 911 Targa 4S, and it's beautiful, 991.2. And my finance for my Boxster is up in the spring, April, May time. And my current plan is to replace it with a 911. What that 911 will be, I know what spec I want, I know what color I want. It's just a case of finding the right car. So here's a question for you, so we can make it interactive. If we were buying 911s, this is probably more for the Porsche au fait people. Would you go 992 or 991.2 in the chat? So yeah, and so myself and this mate of mine, we're planning a road trip in the summer, with Tracy, and Andrew will bring his wife, and we're going to go in our 911s. And I don't actually have a 911 yet, so I need to buy one by then. You see, I knew this was coming. Susan has exactly completely missed the mark. New car, maybe absolutely amazing. Yeah. Watch Moggy's electric Pikes Peak bug thing. Yes, so Stephen Spink, Moggy has invited me to drive the Bug Zapper, which is, if those of you who haven't seen Bug Zapper, it's a VW Fun Cup chassis. So you know the Fun Cup race car. So it's a centrally mounted driving position, and it has a Tesla performance drivetrain in it, and he has a Tesla Model S plaid drivetrain to go in it, but at the moment he's still waiting to find a pair of underpants strong enough for him to actually wear to drive the car with a plaid drivetrain. So yes, hopefully we'll be driving that. Any more plans to do any events at Bewley? Not at the moment. Are you going to do Resto Mod Shmee 150? No, I'm not going to do Resto Mod. I haven't got the money. Jaguar, Singer. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, here we go. Here's some 911s. 991.2 for sure. 991.2. 991.2 is prettier. 991.2 GTS for me, please. Two-wheel drive, GTS, Cabriolet. 991.2. Damn, I've just given away that's just removed about 5 or 6 videos that I can put on the channel next year. I'm going to buy one of these. So yeah, we'll see. I'd love a 992 GTS, but they're just a bit past my budget. I'd skip a Porsche and buy another Capri, not the electric Capri though. No. Nick, you're bound to say 944 S2 coupe because you've got one. You go Carrera 4. I'd go basic 992. The bit I prefer about 991.2 is it's got a proper gear stick, not that little nipply thing. What has been the best car that I've driven this year? That is an excellent question. It's an MSRT Ranger, Gil. Was that the right answer? No, on a serious note, best car I've driven this year is, so Gil's from MSRT. The best car I've driven this year, oh dear. Best electric car I've driven is probably Alpine A290 or Alfa Romeo Junior. I'm trying to think. I've driven so many cool cars this year. Damn it. What have I driven from Porsche? I've driven a couple of mega Porsches this year. Very difficult. I can't remember all the cars I've driven. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Could you do an EV road trip through Europe and compare experience in the UK? Yeah, I could do. The desire of doing an EV road trip isn't massively great, if I'm honest. Porsche shopping series video. I will do a Porsche shopping series, and I'll do a comparison between 992 and 991.2. Do I go coupe, cabriolet, Targa, whatever? So yeah, I will be doing that. Don't worry. What have we got? We've got a minute left, and then I'm definitely going. Looking at EV brand losses, I think Polestar is in serious trouble. They are in big trouble. Whether they survive is doubtful. But we'll see. Do you think the government have a lot to answer for? I don't know whether it's the government. I think you point the finger at a government. It's the political classes within Europe and decision makers that are making decisions when they don't actually really understand the solutions that need to be put in place. And I think that's the problem. And it's like, so I found out last week that the guy who's in the EU, who's putting all these mandates out about things like speed recognition and lane departure assistance and so on, and making them mandatory in cars, he doesn't even own a car. He's not a car person, and I think that's the problem. So I think, yes, I think the policymakers, however we refer to those, they have made a big problem, and I think there'll be big casualties, and those big casualties will be big companies and unfortunately the people who work for them, and I think it's very, very sad. So we'll see. What do we got? Last few, I think it would be Targa GTS for me. I know Targa or cab. It's really, so my mate's one is a Targa GTS, and it is a beautiful car. I must admit that I seriously listen after 9 for fortnight. Oh yeah. Anyway, here we go. Keith Lee. he's joined in just about. Really like the Polestar. Polestars are great cars. I'm not saying the car isn't great. I just think the way that the company's been managed is not great, unfortunately. And anyway, guys, look, I hope you've enjoyed that. I know we had a bit of fun on the Jaguar thing. On a serious note, I think it's really quite sad to see what's happening with that brand. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that the car they release or they show us pictures of at the beginning of December is better than we all think it's going to be. I still don't get their strategy at all. And I don't think that doubling down on the issue is helping them at all. I think the way they've run their social media campaign is shocking as well. But let's see. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. That's for sure. Tune in on Wednesday because I've got Midweek 180 coming. I haven't done one of those for a month, but we talk a little bit about the garage in the Midweek 180. And then the big Friday this week, I went to Morocco with Toyota Land Cruiser. And I was able to take a videographer with me, good mate of mine, Alex, and we have made something very, very special. It's probably, I think it's one of the best films I've made. I haven't seen the final edit yet, but it's right up there. So yeah, please tune in for that one. Make sure you watch my TWR video as well. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for everyone taking part and putting some, and if you want to do another one of these with Mrs. Petrol Ped before Christmas, let me know. Because she loves them. Not. She doesn't like them at all. But yeah, okay. Hey, Mr. Nick O'Leary. Mate, you are smashing it at the moment. Nick O'Leary, you want to follow him on this YouTube thing. He's doing really, really well at the moment. I think Jag is shagged. Yes, very much. Anyway, guys, please be well, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next film. But yeah, you take care, guys. Drive safe. Now, how do you turn this thing off? Oh, look, end stream. Cheers.